Hello and welcome to Food Neighbourhoods on Monocle Radio. My name is Monica Lillis and once again we visit the places locals love for their food and drink. This week we visit the city of Reggio Emilia in the Italian region of Emilia Romagna. When it comes to food, the city may not be as popular as its hallowed neighbours Parma and Modena, but Reggio Emilia is a delicious off-the-beaten-track spot for those in the know. Along its cobbled streets, you are bound to find succulent arrays of cured meats, crunchy cheeses and tart wines, as well as one of the world's most celebrated condiments, balsamic vinegar. Monocle's Ivan Carvalho headed to the northern Italian city to get a taste. Take a listen.
Reggio Emilia may keep a low profile on the food front, but the city has hidden gems worth seeking out. Many are familiar with Modena and its balsamic vinegar, but few outsiders know that Reggio Emilia is actually where the oldest records related to making this condiment are found. I ventured to the outskirts of town to meet Cristina Crotti, owner of Borgo del Balsamico.
Maybe a lot of people don't know that acetaia is not in the cellar, but it's in the attic of the old houses.
So the aging of the balsamic is done upstairs?
Yeah, the aging of the balsamic is done upstairs, and the reason why the balsamic is in the attic is that balsamic has to stay in a room that has no conditioning and no heating. So in the attic you have a big gap between the winter and the summertime. So in summertime, products evaporate from the cask, and in the wintertime products rest and stay still in the cask. This is one of the reasons why the cask of different woods stays in the attic.
Now, Christina, I see here these barrels are smaller than wine barrels. And explain to me the types of woods here, because these are very particular and the rules are very specific about which kinds of wood you can use.
In this room we have a specific product that is called Aceto Balsamico Tradizionale di Reggio Emilia. DOP means Protected Denomination of Origin. It's very, very important to remember that the ingredient is just one, grape juice, and the grape juice are certified and aged in very small casks of different woods. The different woods come from oak, juniper, chestnut, cherry, ash, and mulberry. Every single wood gives a different taste to the product. And the production process follow a method that is called Solera method.
So like sherry, this sort of blending.
Exactly. So like sherry, like Marsala, like Vinsanto. So we just move a very small percentage from one cask to the other without empty the barrel. So the barrel, we never empty the barrel and we never change the barrel.
Next, I head to the city center of Reggio Emilia to visit Domenico Rocca, owner of Locanda La Concia, a hotel opened in 2022 which hosts the popular restaurant Bistro. Domenico Rocca.
We are pouring now Malvasia di Candia. This is a selection of our wine list. We have mainly natural wines. Here at the Bistro, we have this idea to bring on the table wine with souls. We have also a small selection of local wines. We are proud of it because we have a Lambrusco, which is a very Emiliano, very Emilians, and that's why we wanted to have it on the list.
Now tell me, Domenico, you have the hotel here above and now the restaurant here. Explain to me a bit about the philosophy, the concept that you were trying to aim for.
That was my family house. Actually, it belongs to my grandma. It's been abandoned for almost 50 years, and so I decided to renovate it and to convert it in a building. The idea, I used to call it an Italian riad. So the idea is to enter to the door, to this main door, and open it to a new world. Our menu, I will define it relaxed and contemporary. We try to have our dishes very sophisticated, but in a smooth way. Our idea is to have the dishes to be shared. The idea is to have our guests to feel relaxed around the table.
And I see here you have tacos on the menu. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, the tacos was one of our first ideas. They came up on the very first menu, and it's still an evergreen. I would say that it can be a sort of signature dish. They're very nice, they're very well done. Asia, our chef, do them in a very Mexican way.
After sampling lasagna, vitello tonato, and cured meats at Bistro, I returned to the countryside of Reggio Emilia to meet Giulia Prestia, owner of organic winery Venturini Baldini, and part of a new generation of producers making quality Lambrusco wines.
We are in Emilia, so of course I need to talk about our salami, prosciutto and cured meat. Here on the dish we have our favorite one. It's from a local producer, Il Grifo. It's made from Mora Emiliana. Our pigs that they live outside, they're very nicely fed, and came out this super tasty salami.
This is a great color, Domenico. I'm gonna steal some here just to try.
You have to.
Oh, this is fabulous. I think I'm gonna stay in Emilia.
Cool.
From refreshing sparkling wines that are having people reevaluate Lambrusco, to sumptuous cured meats and incredibly rich balsamic vinegars that one can even pair with sushi or gelato, Reggio Emilia has a few surprises up its sleeve when it comes to sitting down at the table.
So Lambrusco is really having an enormous comeback, a revival, and I like to say the new generation of Lambrusco is coming online now. In the past, you're probably familiar with it, Lambrusco had a really bad reputation, and that's also due to a lot of mass production. Sometimes people actually think there's only one Lambrusco, so very sugary, red, frothy, sparkling wine, and it's actually the exact opposite. So Lambrusco today is a dry, very refined, still very accessible and social wine, but that really shows that beautiful spectrum of so many grape varieties and expressions in terms of color and taste.
Now, in terms of your estate and terroir, you're here much more north than, say, the traditional or typical producers are. So what are some of the changes one might see in the wines here?
Yes, so we are on the hills of the Apennine Mountains, and the hillside is obviously a very favorable exposure in terms of weather and soil. We do work with a manual harvest, so it's probably right to compare us more to a Tuscan or Piedmont type of winery, the way we work. We tend to have a much smaller yield per hectare, so it allows us also to make a really good selection of the best grapes for our wines. So one of our flagship wines is definitely the Ca del Vento Rosé. Ca del Vento Rosé is a Lambrusco. It's made of a Lambrusco grape called Sorbara, with a beautiful acidity, a very fresh and crisp wine. And it's also rosé, so it is something that is, it's an eye-catcher in a way, showing also that versatility and spectrum of Lambrusco that I mentioned before. It's made with a méthode chamat, so in a tank, but with a very long fermentation time. So you will almost feel like it's a champagne method in its finishing.
And what would you like to pair this wine with when you're eating?
I think actually Lambrusco is incredibly versatile. So especially the rosé goes really well also with fish dishes, but it does have the typical Lambrusco feature. So it goes with all types of Italian pasta, often also with Asian food. So we have a lot of clients who, for example, Asian restaurants. Lambrusco is always a perfect offsetting of a slightly heavier, fattier fish, meat dishes. So it's a really incredibly versatile wine. So here at the Tenuta di Roncolo, we really have two identities. On the one hand, we produce our estate-grown organic wines, Venturini Baldini. On 350 acres of our estate, we have about 80 acres of vineyards. And on the other hand, we have our hospitality business. So we have a small luxury hotel, Relais Roncolo, with its own restaurant, where we welcome our guests who want to explore the beautiful hills of Emilia.
Now here, what have you poured for me in the glass?
So I just poured a very unique local grape. It's called Spergola. And this is one of our pet projects in a way as well. We like to rediscover forgotten grapes. This one almost got extinct in the past. And it's really beautiful to see these indigenous grape varieties having their comeback. The Spergola is a really beautiful white grape that has similarities to perhaps a Sauvignon Blanc. It's a very local grape, not a big production. And like I said, it almost got extinct. So what we are using it for is, on the one hand, sparkling wines, but we also make a still wine out of it. So that's a little bit also experimenting with a grape that I think has an enormous potential to become an important grape for our area.
Thanks, Ivan. Food Neighbourhoods is a Monocle production from the team behind the menu. This episode was written by Ivan Carvalho and edited by Sarah Nichol. For more food and drink stories, tune into Monocle Radio every Friday at 2000 London time. I'm Monica Lillis. Thanks for listening.